back, WrestleRanters, to WrestleRant edition number 79. I'm, of course, your host, Bleacher Report feature Columnist level 3, Graham, Jess, and Matthews here today to review the first edition of SmackDown in the month of October. October, one of my favorite months. Of course, you can see that by the Halloween decorations in the back that they just started setting up last night. Nonetheless, I digress. Let's break down October 6th, 2012 edition of SmackDown. Kicking off the show with World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus and then the number one contender Big Show. Absolutely ridiculous segment. I didn't enjoy their promo on Monday. I didn't enjoy it on SmackDown either. I thought there was some potential for this feud after what we saw last week, after Big Show was being built up like a beast. Sheamus was showing some vulnerability after being beaten by CM Punk for the first time in months this past Wednesday night on WWE Main Event, which was a good show, by the way. If you didn't see it, go back and check it out. But nonetheless, this feud between Big Show and Sheamus has taken a turn for the worst since it started last week. Again, there's a lot of time between Hell in a Cell now to really, pick up the momentum and build it correctly. But only time will tell, because as far as this segment goes, Sheamus was coming off as a complete jackass against Big Show. And I like the fact that they brought up his 45-second title win, World Heavyweight title win from TLC last year. I thought that was pretty cool, showing the actual footage from it. But aside from that, I didn't really care for this segment. I don't care for Big Show playing the baby face here, and then Sheamus acting like a complete heel. When Big Show tried to shake his hand, Sheamus walking off. That's a heel tactic. I don't see how that's a thing that a face would do. His jokes aren't even funny, so I don't even see how Sheamus can be defined as a fan favorite in the segment. Nonetheless, again, this is the first time ever matchup. As long as it's something fresh, I'm okay with it, but they really need to pick it up from here. And I'll get back to that feud as the night progresses as well. First official match of the night, the primetime players defeating the tandem of Kofi Kingston and R-Truth to advance in the WWE Tag Team Championship Tournament to the semifinals. Very good match right here. These two teams have a lot of good chemistry between each other. Primetime players looking more vicious in recent weeks since dropping their contendership to tag team titles and defeating the team they could never defeat. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth was a great match here. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth didn't show any dissension, so I was kind of surprised about that. I don't know if they're going to keep them as a tag team now that we officially don't tag team titles. We're going to have to wait and see, but primetime players advancing is a logical move, and looking forward to seeing them take on the tandem of Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara this Monday night on Raw. Up next, Ryback versus Primo, first time ever matchup, but standard matchup that we've seen from Ryback for months now since he re-debuted SmackDown after WrestleMania. Pretty much just dominating Ryback and Epico at ringside. Rosa Mendes, as the sexy diva that she is, just watching on from ringside. But basically, Ryback just destroys Primo, was able to get him up for his finisher. I digress. Don't mean to make fun of my favorite superstar Ryback, but as long as he was small enough to pick him up for his finisher, I guess it's all that matters to Vinnie Mac these days. Up next, Divas match. Layla defeating Alicia Fox. We saw this match a few weeks ago. Didn't really care to see it again. Decent match. I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect from the Divas, and no shitting on it this time. Layla cut a promo after the matchup saying something confusing about going after E, so I didn't really understand that. Another thing confusing about this match was the fact that Alicia Fox was somewhat working like a heel, even though she came out as a face. I'm not really all that surprised by that. The creative team doesn't really care all that much about the Divas anyway these days. I guess they don't even know who's face and who's heel. As far as Eve goes, Beth goes, Natalya goes, Alicia Fox now. Everybody's switching places. I guess they could really care less. But nonetheless, we move on to Wade Barrett defeating a local athlete within mere minutes. This is kind of a step backwards for Wade Barrett. I know he's been defeating the likes of Tyson Kidd, Justin Gabriel, Zack Ryder, and Yoshitatsu since coming back last month. So I think defeating a local athlete, going Ryback style, defeating a local athlete, that was a bit strange. Someone commented on my Bleacher Report review of SmackDown that I just posted today, but make sure you go check that out as well, saying that they could be building up a storyline that Wade Barrett could be feeling disrespected that he's being handed so easy competition in the form of a local athlete. So maybe that's what they could be building upon. I would love to see that happen. They did something similar to Mark Henry last year. I think they did something to Wade Barrett. There's something similar to Wade Barrett late last year too. So maybe it's kind of a flashback kind of moment. But nonetheless, Wade Barrett needs a storyline very, very soon. I like him in the ring. He's had good matches. He's looking aggressive and vicious and dominant inside of his matches with his new gimmick, bare knuckle fighter gimmick that he's got going. Love that. He just needs a legitimate feud in the very near future. I know Sheamus is tied up at the moment with Big Show over the World Heavyweight Championship, and eventually Dolph Ziggler, so I don't see the World Heavyweight Championship picture at the moment for Wade Barrett as a possibility. I was thinking maybe someone like Ted DiBiase, get him back on television. I don't even know at this point. Both mid-card champions are heel, so I don't really know what else there is to do for Wade Barrett for the time being until the World Heavyweight title picture opens up. Up next, another great match between The Miz and Sheamus. We've seen this match a handful of times over the last year, but it never gets any worse. That was a terrible thing to say. I'm sorry, that didn't mean to come off so horribly. I meant to say these guys always consistently put on a good match. Sorry, I didn't mean to botch my lines there for a second. But anyways, Miz Sheamus, very, very good match. A lot of good chemistry between these two guys. I was kind of surprised to see Miz pick up the victory here. Of course, it wasn't clean. It wasn't via pinfall. Big Show came down, knocked out The Miz, his former Show Miz tag team partner, might I add, to give Miz the victory via disqualification. Sheamus loses his second consecutive match after losing to CM Punk on Wednesday at main event, and now losing to The Miz via disqualification on SmackDown. So these are his first two losses on WWE television in quite some time. I believe since, at the very least, June. So 4 months ago. That's pretty crazy. But it gives Miz a win. I know he looked weak here after being knocked out by Big Show and then being pulverized by Sheamus during the course of the matchup. But even still, at least it's a win for Miz, and he's not being buried again as IC champion in another non-title matchup. So, and then Big Show Sheamus, that was kind of a recurring theme throughout the night with Sheamus later interfering in Big Show's match. I'll get to that in about a minute. But up next, we had a tag team match between Alberto Del Rio and David Otunga teaming against the WWE Tag Team Champions, Kane and Daniel Bryan, in a non-title match. Decent match. It was entertaining to see Alberto Del Rio come out to Randy Orton's Voices theme song. That was extremely funny. Extremely entertaining. Really, really enjoyed that. The theme, the way that Del Rio walked down, I know he was imitating Orton on purpose, but I couldn't even tell. I mean, I didn't even tell that he was imitating him until he was on the turnbuckle and he went, did the arm thing. But when he was walking down, he looked like a natural heel. He looked like a natural badass. That thing fit Del Rio perfectly. I think that was the most I liked Del Rio's entrance since he debuted. But even still, it was a fun matchup. Daniel Bryan and Kane, always a fun duo. Put on a lot of good entertainment here. Didn't really care for David Otunga, so I was glad to see him take the loss here. And speaking of picking up the wins here, Kane picking up the win here for his team. It was exactly 15 years ago to the day that the SmackDown aired that Kane made his WWE debut at Bad Blood 1997. So that was kind of a nice touch. I know they didn't really mention that during the course of the matchup, but even still, Kane celebrating his anniversary by picking up a win on SmackDown, kind of going full circle. Really, really like that aspect of it above. You picked up on it. So up next, we have Big Show versus Big Show versus Tensai in a battle of the former WrestleMania 19 tag team partners. So during the course of the matchup, kind of throwaway, obviously, two big men. It was interesting for maybe the first 5 seconds of it, since it was both two giants. Obviously, didn't acknowledge the history between the two. But nevertheless, Sheamus comes down, knocks out Tensai, gives Tensai the victory. I was like, holy shit, Tensai picked up a win, especially against Big Show. That's kind of big. Another not going to give anything to Tensai. Tensai actually got his entrance aired, and then Big Show didn't. That was kind of surprising. But even still, it was a fine whatever match. Didn't really care for it. It only lasted a few minutes anyway. I guess it helped further the Sheamus Big Show feud. I mean, we've seen this kind of shit happen before, so it wasn't really all of that innovative. But again, even like I said earlier in this edition, I'm not liking the feud between Big Show and Sheamus as of now. I don't want to sound pessimistic towards the feud. I don't want to sound like a natural smark here, but I'm just not liking the feud right now. I know I have hope and I have faith they will rebuild the feud going forward, making Big Show look like the dominant heel that he can be, like that we saw earlier this year back in May when he first turned heel, and they can make Sheamus look like a vulnerable champion. I hope it's not leading to Big Show getting another 30-second title win before Dolph Ziggler cashes in. That'd be fucking terrible. I would not want to see that happen. I have a feeling it will happen, but I hope it won't. But whatever results in Dolph Ziggler finally winning the World Heavyweight Championship is fine with me. Up next, the main event time, WWE Champion CM Punk making a rare appearance on Friday Night SmackDown against Dolph Ziggler. Excellent matchup, first matchup between the two since Royal Rumble earlier this year. A lot of great chemistry, got a lot of good time. Both guys look strong here. I was kind of shocked to see Dolph Ziggler win. Punk win clean and Ziggler lose so decisively. I know we've been accustomed to seeing Dolph Ziggler lose quite a bit during the course of his WWE career, but in recent weeks, after losing to Orton at Champions, they've kind of protected Ziggler in a way. They had Punk get pinned this past week on Raw. They had Ziggler win against Santino a few weeks ago on Raw. I believe he defeated someone else last week on Raw as well. So, I mean, and they had him attack Sheamus last week on SmackDown as well. So they're kind of protecting Sheamus for a bit, so I was kind of surprised to see them give away this match for no reason. I mean, the crowd wasn't really given an incentive to cheer for either guy. They were probably cheering for both Punk and Ziggler during the course of the matchup since it's SmackDown. They definitely piped in those boos, the canned boos during the course of the matchup, especially during the entrance when it was blatantly obvious. But even still, that doesn't take away from the action. A great matchup. CM Punk needed this win to look more stronger as a champion. He's already looking as strong as hell right now, but even still, an extra one won't hurt him at all. Same thing with Ziggler. I mean, I don't know what this says for Ziggler. I mean, it wasn't random. It wasn't a random matchup. It had the story behind it after what happened on Raw, but no one really interfered. I mean, John Cena wasn't there. Dolph Ziggler, none of his rivals were there, so it didn't really make all that much sense, but it was a great match. I won't complain. Overall, a decent show. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't all that great. Nothing really on this week's show excited me. I know there's usually that one thing every show that I usually get excited about, usually mark out for. This week, not so much. I mean, there wasn't anything bad. The action was okay. It was decent right down the middle, nothing all that bad. There were a few good matchups in the form of CM Punk and Ziggler, and Miz and Sheamus in the opening tag team match. Those were pretty good. The rest was filler. This is more like a filler episode, and there's nothing wrong with that, seeing that there's about 3-4 weeks until Hell in a Cell anyway, so that's completely understandable. But hopefully they pick up the pace going to Hell in a Cell in the coming weeks. Really looking forward to that. And as I said before, hopefully they build upon the Big Show and Sheamus feud going forward. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And also, speaking of my videos, I recently did all my playlists. If you check on my channel, the official channel, not like my list of videos or whatever, but I sectioned my videos into WrestleRant videos, the dance videos, the pillow videos, Raw reaction videos, all that stuff. So if you want to catch all that stuff, all organized now, go back and check that out. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @SAVE_GSM. Make sure to follow all the links on the links page. It's about to flow over in a second. Make sure to check out spoilers that recently returned as well as SAVE US GSM, as we host our big Halloween edition in a few more weeks. But we are every Wednesday night on BW247.net. Really looking for that, and well as Halloween itself, as you can see by the decorations behind me. But even still, hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Hope you guys enjoy your Columbus Day. And this is GSM. Signing out. Till next time, guys.